Hi everyone, Dr. Susan Brown, Director of the Center for Better Bones. Once again, I welcome the Better Bones Facebook community to a little chat. Today we're going to talk about breath. This week, Gina, in her wonderful Exercise Evolution program, is talking about breath and showing you some breathing exercises that go with the physical motion, movement exercises she's doing. I want to just chat a little bit about breath, give a couple different perspectives on this. In the Western world, we mainly think of breath as bringing oxygen into the body, bringing nitrogen, different gases that are in the environment. Although we've gone a little further, we recognize that a deep, relaxing breath can quiet the mind. If we have a rapid heartbeat, we're told to sit quietly and breathe deeply. And science in the West has now documented that deep breathing, deep nasal breathing, down into the lower lungs really stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system. And that's the nervous system that tells the body to rest and digest, to move out of fight and flight mode to become more relaxed. A mode of being that's very enhancing to health. So in the West, we're learning a little bit about breath, but the East has been way far ahead of us. As Gina has explained to you in yoga, there's the concept of prana, which is the energy in the air. And in fact, what I'm saying is that our breath and the air all around us contains vital life force energy. And through breathing, we bring that life force energy into the body. In yoga, you see many exercises that deal with prana, this life force that's in the air, bringing it into the body in different ways, having different effects on various parts of the body. There are literally hundreds of types of breathing exercises in the ancient Indian system of Ayurveda. They can be as simple as alternative nostril breathing, where we breathe in one nostril, exhale out the other. That helps to calm us, again, balance the nervous system, balance the sides of the brain. There are literally hundreds of them. Some of my most favorite breathing exercises, though, are the ones of the Taoist system, the Chinese system that relates to qi. Now in China, they see this life force energy. They see it in the air, just like in Ayurveda, but they call it qi. And this is a life force energy, again, that you can bring into the body through breathing. And in martial arts, there's a lot of attention on breathing. I have seen Qigong masters who were able to accumulate energy through a combination of breathing exercises, movement that stretch and direct the energy through the meridians, and imagination. All those three factors go together. I knew one master, Master Nan Lu, who could actually collect enough energy to shoot it back and knock a friend of mine off the chair. You know, that they can capture energy and then spread it out, extend that energy. I have found breathing exercises, particularly these Qigong exercises, very excellent at bringing energy into my body. But one of the most fascinating Qigong exercises is called bone breathing or bone marrow cleansing. Thousands of years ago, these ancient wisdom-driven cultures realized that bone changes over time, and actually as we age, the bone develops within the marrow fat. Just like our body tends to develop fat, bone develops fat. And it's because the bone building cells can have a choice to turn, the stem cells can turn into bone building cells or fat building cells. As we get older, they turn into fat building cells. So these Chinese and these ancient Eastern people discovered how to reduce that fat in the bone, how to enliven the bone marrow, which produces our red blood cells, our white blood cells. Many important factors are produced in bone marrow. And they could cleanse the bone marrow through breathing. I've written about this in this week's blog. You might want to look at it. But there was a very systematic, deep nasal breathing done for long periods of time where you systematically imagined you were sending energy to one fingertip, to the next fingertip, to the hand, to the wrist, up through the whole body to imagine you're sending this vital force energy. In fact, Mantak Chia, a very well-known Taoist teacher, I studied him, I've looked at his work for over 40 years. He's from Thailand, and he tells of a case of a woman. Now, you're going to know she was an Asian woman. When I tell you the rest of the story, you'll know she had to be Asian. She was losing a lot of bone, and so she began doing this bone cleansing exercise, which I talk about in the blog today. And she did it for 3 hours. 3 hours a day, and in 6 months she gained back 10% of the bone loss. And I think it was in 2 years she gained back all of the bone she'd lost. Now, I don't know how many of us are going to spend 3 hours a day with breathing exercises, but it certainly, I do really believe it would benefit us. That's my favorite thing, where they moved energy into the bones to clean out the bones. So remember, even if you do simple breathing exercises at home, say some deep breathing relaxation like I detailed in the blog and like Gina's talking to you about, remember that imagination and intention is really important. You might have the body movement, you might imagine the energy flowing, you might actually imagine it going to the bones, or if you're feeling kind of contracted and lacking love, imagine energy going into your heart and feel the expansion of your heart energy. It's a lot of fun. Imagination, movement, and this deep breathing. Another thing we're discovering today, and how I'd like to close our discussion on breathing, is that our body is in constant exchange with the universe, and it's pretty amazing to imagine. We have about 20,000 breaths a day, and with each breath we give a little bit of ourselves to the universe, and with each inhalation we take in a little of the universe. In fact, with every breath we either exhale or intake about 10 to the 22nd. That's 10 with 22 zeros after. I don't even know if any of you know how to say that, whether it's a zillion, trillion, or whatever. Many, many atoms leave our body with every exhalation and come in with every inhalation. And we're constantly exchanging bits of us with the whole universe. In fact, scientists have calculated that in your body right now, there are atoms that were in the body of Julius Caesar at the time of his death. We're in constant, all creatures are in constant exchange, and our bodies are constantly exchanging, giving up pieces, taking in new pieces. It's really pretty fascinating, the dynamic nature of the human body, the dynamic nature of bone. There's always time to build bone. Don't forget deep breathing and the intention. Be clear about what you're trying to accomplish. Hey, it's been a lot of fun. May you spend a couple days doing some deep breathing. May you forever take 2 or 3 minutes out of the day to do deep breathing when you're feeling stressed or when you're feeling good and you want to feel better. And in closing, once again, I want to remind you, we have a lot of fun doing these retreats. The next one's coming up in May, Pennsylvania. Love Your Bones, Love Your Life. Gina will be teaching exercises. We have a new assistant, Heather, you saw, she's going to be teaching some. Alyssa will be there, Jean Marie. We're going to have a great time. We hope you come and join us. And in the meantime, be well. It's my pleasure, Susan Brown. Talk to you later.